The main here, I've talked about this time and time again, and I don't know exactly if this is true or not. This is just from my observation, but I feel like Sonic as a whole is really tricky to pull off. Like that might sound weird, but it's really tricky to pull off. Um, if you look at all the different styles that Sonic is going through with his games, like you look at a classic Sonic game, then you look at Adventure, and then you look at Heroes, and I mean, like you could look at Adventure 2, but Adventure 2 was pretty similar to Adventure in terms of play styles, believe it or not. But yeah, you look at Heroes, you look at '06 was similar. I don't really know. Well, I mean, like '06 wasn't finished, but whatever. You can look at '06, and then you look at the style of like Unleashed, Colors, and Generations, and then you look at the style of Lost World. They're all pretty damn different. So what has happened is, with all of these different types of Sonic that you see, it's pretty much split the audience, those who actually play the Sonic games. Because I like a lot of these different Sonic styles that they've done. There hasn't really been one that I don't like. The issue is that there are many people who are like, yo, I'm digging this style, I like this. And then another style comes out and they're like, I don't like that. But there are other people who do like that style. They're like, yo, this is dope. Like Sonic Heroes, I said it time and time again, but Sonic Heroes is my favorite Sonic game. Now, while that is my favorite Sonic game, I do like all the different styles that Sonic has gone through. But that's not the case for everybody. So what you end up doing is you end up diversifying everybody who likes Sonic, because this person wants this person wants that person doesn't want any of that, they want this, etc, etc. So because of how split the Sonic fan base is, you can release whatever Sonic game you want, and yes, it's still possible for Sonic to get good reviews. Like, look at Generations. However, I still feel like Generations got a boost because of the whole nostalgia factor. I can't, confirm that, but I feel like nostalgia played a big part in Generations being so well received. I'm not saying that's the only reason why it was well received, but that did play a factor, I feel. But yeah, you get all these different styles, and then it's not really so much that the Sonic fans don't know what they want, it's that they all want different things. They know exactly what they want, it's just that they've been given so many different styles that they want it to stay a particular way, and you can't, well, you can, but then you got people who are upset, and I mean, that's not really a bad thing, because if you just stick with one style long enough, then it might win some people over. But at the same time, if you constantly change what Sonic is, then like, how is anyone ever going to be satisfied? Like, here's one really good example. When Unleashed came out, not everybody, I love the Werehog stages, but a lot of people, probably the majority, were saying, yo, Unleashed is dope. If only they didn't have Werehog in this game. If only it was just the daytime stages. What was the next Sonic game that they did? Well, I don't know if it was the next one that they did, but as far as the main Sonic titles were concerned, the next one was Sonic Colors. What was Sonic Colors? Not exactly, because different mechanics and stuff like that, but Sonic Colors was pretty much Sonic Unleashed without Werehog. It was basically the Sonic Unleashed style of daytime and nothing but that. Now, I mean, some people like the Unleashed stages better when it comes to daytime Sonic, which, I mean, I have no problem with. But yeah, that's basically what it was. So that was them listening. And then Generations came out, it was following the same style, but they tried to implement, classic Sonic, probably in an attempt to win some fans over, who are about the classic Sonic life. And it kind of worked. I think most people weren't too crazy about classic Sonic though, but they kept that Sonic trend. So I was thinking, that was their decision, that they were going to stick with the whole Unleashed style Sonic gameplay and just fine tune it with every installment, which obviously they didn't do with Lost World. But Lost World is also a special case, because this is a part of the Nintendo exclusive deal that they had, which is kind of easy to tell when you look at what a lot of people call this game. They call it Super Sonic Galaxy. or i.e. a Sonic Galaxy ripoff, you can clearly see the Nintendo influence in this game. And I'm not saying that it's not similar to Galaxy in terms of look, but the feel is a lot different. Now, I haven't played a Mario Galaxy game, but I do intend to. But I'm pretty sure Mario didn't do spin dashes and homing attacks and all of that good stuff. I could be wrong. But yeah. Long story short, Sonic has changed a lot. People expect a lot. You can't do everything in one game. You have to decide on one type of gameplay, and that's it. You can't blend, well, you can blend like Lost World parkour with like Sonic Color Speed or, you know, things like that, but that might not be the best way to go about it, you know, stuff like that. I really like this game, but one of the major points that I want to talk about with Sonic as a whole isn't just that the gameplay has changed so much. It's what Unleashed brought to the table. Unleashed, as far as 3D Sonic is concerned, and maybe Sonic in general, is the fastest Sonic game that's out so far. And nowadays, that's what people expect when they see a Sonic game. They don't expect platforming. They expect speed over all else, which kind of hurts Sonic, in my opinion, because Sonic, I feel like at this stage of the game, can't really deviate from anything without there being backlash, unless it is in the style of Unleashed, i.e. you boost, tons of speed sections, some platforming, not a ton of platforming, and I'll explain why I said not a ton of platforming in a little bit. But yeah, I feel like the speed of Unleashed, although I really did like it, I like that Sonic was going that fast, but I feel like it kind of hurts Sonic, because now if Sonic isn't going at the speed of Unleashed, or at least really close to it, then people are going to complain about it, because Sonic is quote-unquote going slow. Sonic is not slow in this game. I mean, like, it's all comparative. If you compare it to Unleashed, then yeah, he's going slow. But how many games can you compare Unleashed to where the character is not going slow? Like, that's the thing about it. Like, F-Zero maybe. Yeah, if you compare it to F-Zero, then F-Zero isn't slow. But, I mean, there aren't too many games where you're going to be going that fast and have people not call it slow comparatively. And that's the thing about it. The main thing about this game is that you have to work for your speed, and that's something that I think Valkyr pointed out earlier when I was skimming the chat. He might have said that, I'm not sure if he did. But this is one of the games where the speed is not given to you. You have to work for it. The parkour, the double jumps, the bounce attacks, the cancels, the spin dash. The fact that if you mess up your spin dash, you got to charge another spin dash. The terrain that you can't go over because that'll kill your spin dash. Not using Wisp all the time because although they're safe, they're often slow. You have to work for your speed in this game, and believe it or not, for those of you who are not familiar with the classic Sonic titles, that's what Sonic was supposed to be all about. The ability to go fast, not always going fast. You have to work for your speed. It's not supposed to be given to you. And that's one of the things that Unleashed messed up with. And I'm not saying that Unleashed was just a boost fest. You could boost all you wanted in Sonic Unleashed. But chances are if you were boosting and you weren't paying attention, then you might get bodied. Not all the time. But then that leads to things like people complaining about having the platform. I have submitted, or not submitted, but I've uploaded a ton of YouTube videos, and I've seen a ton of YouTube comments for a variety of modern Sonic. So I know what people say, I know what people look for. I have a very good sense of this thing. But I've also had people complain about platforming in a Sonic game. Like, you do know Sonic is a platformer, right? It's not a racing game. It's a platformer. So yes, although I love what Unleashed did with the speed, it also hurt Sonic in the long run. So there you go. That's basically how I feel about Sonic. And I mean, not everybody is gonna agree with what I said, but that's how I feel about Sonic. I might be right, I might be wrong, but I feel like at least some of that is right. And yeah, I do go in like this every now and then. I don't do it often, but I generally do this when there's a lot of Sonic talk, as in Sonic as a whole, not just a specific game, and it was pretty much like that earlier. But yeah, Sonic Team's main, I wouldn't even call it a problem, but it's something that they haven't been doing right. They keep trying to take Sonic into different directions, and that's always a gamble with any series. But like I said, the problem is you can diversify your crowd to the point where you can't even make a game that everybody is happy with, which is what I feel like happened with Sonic, and it saddens me because I don't feel like Sonic will ever get that solid title that everybody can love. Like, I feel like he's doomed to always get a game in the low 80s at the most when it comes to game reviews, solely because of that. And I could be wrong. I would love to be proven wrong in that regard because I really don't want Sonic to go anywhere in the near future. But time will tell, as it always does. But yes, I hope that little rant was insightful for everyone. And I might just do that. I might highlight that part and upload it to YouTube because I have wanted to get my thoughts about Sonic in its current state and all of that out there, just to see what people would say. I just hope that the comment section doesn't turn into shit, which it might. If it does, then whatever, because I'm used to it by now. But I would love to get more feedback and understanding on how people feel about Sonic as a whole. But I feel like I hit it on point with where Sonic is nowadays.